What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Mary B, bringing you the mayhem, and we might have a little bit of mayhem for you here today, guys. So, turns out cancel culture might not be as potent as it thought it was. So we got a little article for you today. It comes to us from WeGotThisCovered.com. Now, I know. They are notoriously unreliable. However, they do cite a couple of sources that have been reliable in the past. And so we're going to take this with a bit of a grain of salt today. But I also want to get this brought out there because I think it's important. I think it's really important to kind of recognize when cancel culture didn't quite have its way, especially when you're talking about a situation like what we had with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Quick recap for those of you who didn't know. Johnny Depp had been canceled by Amber Heard, and Amber Heard is, of course, the person who played on Aquaman 2. She was married to him for a brief stint, and they had a whole lot of craziness go down in their relationship. She accused him of beating her, assaulting her, just basically being an all-around dirtbag. But turns out that might not necessarily be quite as true as we had initially thought, that Amber Heard, in fact, herself may have been the abuser. So cancel culture tried to cancel Johnny Depp, and he lost his role in Pirates of the Caribbean, but it looks like it's possible he might be getting that back. So Disney reportedly considering bringing Johnny Depp back for Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. Now, this is a reboot they're talking about here. I'm not exactly sure what that means. It's kind of veiled. It's veiled a bit in mystery. We're not exactly sure all of the details, just a few things. We'll go through this together here real quick. So the argument could be made that the world doesn't really need another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. But when the franchise has earned over $4.5 billion at the box office and rests in the hands of our pop culture overlords at Disney, there was little chance of the Black Pearl being allowed to sail off into the sunset. And I agree with that. We're talking about Disney here. They are the masters of reboots and sequels. This is what they do. This is what they do. So they're pretty right about that. This is happening whether Johnny Depp is involved or not. So the fifth installment, Dead Men Tell No Tales, may have been the lowest grossing entry since the original back in 2003, but 795 million globally is global total is hardly small change, and the Mouse House are keen to keep milking their swashbuckling cash cow for all that it's worth. So we'll go down here a little bit. So Disney upset a lot of fans when they very publicly, and they was very public, dropped Johnny Depp in the wake of the headline-grabbing divorce from Amber Heard. Although the studio did stand to save around $90 million on the actor's lucrative contract to keep playing Jack Sparrow. However, following a series of revelations in the court case between the two former spouses, we're now hearing that the 56-year-old could be set to reprise his Academy Award-nominated signature role in the upcoming sixth movie. So, according to our intel, and again, we have to take this with somewhat of a grain of salt here, guys, because we got this covered, but they did have a few things right here. According to our intel, which comes to us from the same sources that told us about National Treasure 3, that was in development, as well as Aladdin sequel before it was officially announced, recent turn of events in Depp's legal battle, and the overwhelming support from the public in his favor has some of the Mouse House executives now lobbying for his return behind the scenes. And given that these are the same sources who also said last year that the studio was doing a Bambi live-action remake, we've no reason to doubt them. So if he does return, Jack Sparrow would play a more supporting role, similar to how he was used in Curse of the Black Pearl, with the lead still set to be a female pirate. However, how exactly he'd factor into the story, that we don't know yet. But in any case, there have already been petitions launched to get him rehired that amassed thousands of signatures, and that goal now looks closer to reality because, besides, as one of the most popular movie characters of the century, a lot of people have little interest in a Pirates of the Caribbean flick that didn't feature Jack Sparrow, and as such, we've got our fingers crossed for that he's able to return. Now look, you will find me right on the same bandwagon as a great many people. I don't need another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I feel perfectly content with everything that we got. I think it's a bit of overkill, what we've already gotten so far. But this is happening, and they are going to be throwing a female pirate in the lead of this film. So this is happening one way or another, whether we want it, whether we like it or not. This is going to be a thing. I will say, I don't really want another one, but if we're going to get another Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I want Johnny Depp in it. I want Jack Sparrow. That is literally the only reason for me to continue going to see these films. this is the role that it feels like he was sort of born to play. He plays it perfectly, and just it does tend to draw me in. I do get a little bit curious when Jack Sparrow's on the screen. I kind of want to go see the film. So guilty as charged. I might have been one of the people contributing to continued Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That might have been me. But I don't really need any more. But if there's going to be more, I definitely want Johnny Depp in it. And that's really kind of where that lands for me. I also think that this is good for his career. And this is good for cancel culture, to kind of blow back against that, to prove that we as the public have some say here, that we can put it out there. Hey, you can't just cancel somebody when you don't have the solid proof. Let's get this guy back on the ball. Let's get him rolling again. Let's get him moving back into a positive direction for his life, because he kind of got screwed here by Amber Heard, and I feel pretty bad about that, and I think a lot of people feel bad about it now. Not that I ever wanted him canceled, but I was very sorry to see what happened to him. So anyway, guys, do me a favor, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you want another Pirates of the Caribbean movie? Would you go see it as long as Johnny Depp was in it, or do you just not care either way? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that like, hit the bell for notifications, and I will talk to you later. Love, love.